How can you treat someone with syphilis?
Treatment will be based on what we find out according to laboratory results. If the laboratory results reveal that the patient is positive, then we have got antibiotic prescription. Most of the time we give penicillin. Penicillin is a drug in nature that we give. In this case, I will mention specifically that the penicillin that we give is benzopenicillin. Benzathine. Benzathine is the best drug of syphilis. We give it at day 1, then, and it is study dose. When we say study dose, it's a dose on its own. When we give you once, it's okay. However, with other scientists or other researchers, it shows that we need to give it in sequences. We give it at the 0 day, then after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you need again to receive the very same dose. And if it's a family, despite that someone else is negative, someone else is positive, but it's still more, we treat it as a pattern. We give the husband, we give the wife as well. And they have to come again after 4 weeks. They have to, after 2 weeks rather, not 4 weeks. After 2 weeks, they have to come again and get another dose of benzathine. After benzathine, then we assess how are they doing. If there's no improvement, then we go to the master D1, which we give the single dose for primary as well as the secondary stages. In this case, most of the time, we give azithromycin at 200 grams start dose. Most of the time, it comes in a bullets form, in bullets form, and it is 200,000 grams. And we take them as study. Most of them are three drugs, 3 tablets at once. Then we have got multiple doses for latent and tertiary one. Multiple doses shall entail that we have to be giving now and then. We give at 0, we give after 2 weeks, we give another after 2 weeks, till when we see that there's some improvement. That's the treatment. And another treatment is to detach yourself from having an affair with people who are infected. Make sure that you condomize yourself so that you can prevent all this kind of things. Which other thing that I'm mentioning here is about prevention measures of this kind of infection. So, but for treatment, I say penicillin, a nature of the drug, is being prescribed.
All right. Listeners are saying that we should avoid having sex with multiple partners to avoid this medical condition. Now, what are the complications of syphilis?
Syphilis can complicate to various conditions. Mostly, we can say there are 5 or 6 conditions that this disease can complicate to. The number 1 is about deafness. Deafness, you can develop deafness because of syphilis. Because syphilis, as I said already, that is a bacterial infection, so it flows in the system. And besides, this one can again attack the what we call Australian tube that controls the vibration of the air. And those tubes, if they have been disturbed, we expect nothing but all the 3 bones that vibrate, the anvil, hammer, it will get defeated. And so doing, deafness might result. Blindness might be there because the optic nerve might be again affected with the chronicity of syphilis. Cardiovascular syphilis. Syphilis might migrate to the cardiac, especially the receptor of the heart. If it has attacked the receptor of the heart, expect nothing but the system that punches blood via the auriculoventricular system, it gets down. So, and the mental health issues. Mental health issues, the way you think, the way you perceive, Because these organs are said that they might attack, it might lead you into deafness as well. Your vision might have compromission. These things are very related to the brain. If these organs have been attacked, the brain will be attacked as well. As such, mental health issues for you might be very, very, very good enough or proximal enough to attack you. As such, these things need to be prevented so that you don't complicate to this kind of mental issues. Then you have got neurosyphilis. Neurosyphilis is a condition whereby the syphilis has attacked you and all the neuron system is being down. The effector and transmitter system is down. As such, even giving birth, especially to the man, becomes difficult because there are no senses that will be able to liberate the message to the related organs. For that, expectation of neurosyphilis as a complication is very high. So those are some of the complications for syphilis.
As we are going to the end of the program, Mr. Josam, can you tell us how syphilis is transmitted?
By its name, syphilis is sexually infected. We call it as STIs, sexual transmitted infection, one of which. So the transmission of it is a sexual contact. This can be vaginal, can be anal or oral. You call me that when I was trying about the epidemiological data, I said that MSM, men to men sex, have got high chances of getting this condition. So we believe that, and it has been shown with the research that most of the men who have sex with each other, they do anal sex. As such, penetration power encounters it's wrong. For that, this one is very much more rampant. That's number one, transmission in sexual contact. Vaginal is man with a woman. So if someone else between them, they have got it. This syphilis, the chances of getting it very high. It can be anal, as I said already. It can be oral, as I said already. Oral most of the time it has between a man and a woman. So if someone else there has got an infection and has got the cut, which is penetrating point of the disease, so the disease can be transmitted. Number two is mother to child during pregnancy or childbirth. How? During pregnancy is transmission via the placenta. During childbirth, PSC, if the mother has got a wound from the vagina or any point and the baby has got the wound again, so that transmission can take place because there is a port of entry. And another way of transmission is by blood transfusion, where you have received the blood that is contaminated or the blood that has got syphilis, which is a very rare situation. I don't think Malawi blood transfusion will be able to give those kind of blood to people in Malawi. Not so. It is well screened, but where we are missing at point, the chances of getting it are very high. In addition to that, I've got organ transplant. Again, it's a rare condition. We can do this by at a point whereby we are other people might have got a lethargy or fatigueness of any organ, like the kidney or the liver or the heart. If someone else who is being giving the organ to someone else who has got, if that individual who is giving the organ to someone else who has got the condition that necessary to be given the organ has got syphilis, not well screened, the chances that the person who is being given the organ can have syphilis is very high. But it's a rare condition because when you are giving the organ, you are well screened in all aspects of conditions without seeing how capable you are, how fitness you are. Those are the areas that how this disease can be transmitted. Only 4 ways, but the major one there are 2: sexual contact as well as mother to child during pregnancy or childbirth.
All right. So how can someone prevent this disease?
As I said already that this disease can be prevented. It is being transmitted by section. That means you need to know how you are doing your tactics in terms of sexual. If you are humanized, safe sexual practice is very important. When you are saying safe sexual practice, shall mean you need to use condom, or you need to test the woman that you're having an affair with. She has to be safe enough from this kind of infection. If you do not condomize yourself and you do a sexual with the woman who is having syphilis, the chances that you can pick it, they are there if you have got the transmitter. The transmitter shall mean that you must have a cut whereby there must be exchange of fluids. Vaginal fluids, can be blood, can be what. If any epithelial cell is scratched, the chances for you to get the disease are very high. Although we always say every disease must have a port of entry. Number 2, prevention is about condom use. As I said already, you need to condomize yourself in whatever situation. Number 3 is regular sexual transmitted infection testing. We need to test ourselves. Sometimes it's very important that just to go to medical setup and find out how you are. You need to check yourself, especially the medical guys. You need to check yourself about your status. Not only medical guys, but this is very important to everyone else who is a living individual, because disease does not just come from the hospital, but in other scenarios, things can happen without knowing how those things has happened. Number 4 is vaccination against sexually transmitted infection. For example, that vaccine is there. In Australia, as of now in Malawi, we don't have a very good vaccine for it, against it, because research are still underground, working for it. Which one can be attainable? Which one is cheap enough? Because when we are doing vaccination, we need to check all parameters in terms of number 1, efficacy, and the cost effectiveness, as well as the acceptance by the community. So all those kind of things, they are yet to be set. As such, this time around we can say we don't have a very good vaccination for sexual transmission, specifically for syphilis. But it's going to be bad, we're facing it. So those are the areas that we need to much more focus in terms of prevention. Sure.
Let me thank you, Mr. Josam, for joining us today in today's program, whereby we were discussing syphilis. This marks the end of our program. In this program, we were with me, Divines Utioga, the producer and the editor, and also our guest, Mr. Gift Josam. Let's meet again in the next episode of Health Issues podcast, whereby we'll be coming with more medical conditions. So we'll meet again in the next program. Stay safe.